Welcome to my ultimate Omega Planetus guide for Monster Hunter Wilds. I will show you all the mechanics of both the normal and savage version and how to counter them. I will also cover must-have skills and even full builds to make this fight go from Omega Planetus to Omega LUL. And yes, both for solo and group players. Now let's dive straight in. First, let's take a look at all the important mechanics of Omega. The fight itself has multiple phases where it switches locations and gains new moves. The first and most important mechanic is enmity. If you're familiar with MMOs, you might know it by the name aggro. The player with the highest enmity will draw the attention of the monster. It is indicated with a red line pointing towards the currently focused player. In order to get the enmity, you have to attack the head of Omega. If you do enough damage, it'll focus you. This allows one player to be a tank, while the others are free to do damage without much fear of getting hit. More on tanking and group compositions later. Just keep in mind, if you don't want to get the enmity, keep attacking the legs instead of the head. Another important mechanic are the shield bubbles on the ground. If you stand in them, you are protected against all non-physical attacks of Omega. I will talk about the ways to spawn these shields later, but for now just remember that they are safe spots. Now, let's talk about the important attacks and how to counter them. Most of them are some sort of lasers, fire explosions or flying fists. And a lot of them have big orange indicators so you know what's coming. If there's no shield bubble on the ground, just keep moving out of them or prepare to block. When it uses rocket punch, one or multiple players will be targeted by flying fists that fly slowly towards you. You can counter them easily by attacking them directly before they hit you. This destroys them, and it also works with slinger ammo. If you found that useful so far, make sure to subscribe to my channel for future guides and videos. Another important attack is the mustard bomb. One player will be targeted with a big pulsing orange circle. After a few seconds, Omega will fire a missile that explodes on the ground and leaves a permanent fire area there. This fire hurts, so don't stand in it. To counter the mustard bomb, simply run out to the edge of the arena and place it there. And don't stand in a shield with it, or it will destroy the shield bubble. You have enough time to run out, so don't be lazy. The next dangerous attack is the MRV missile. If no one has the enmity, Omega will target every party member and will shoot up to 6 missiles after another for big damage. If you don't have a shield bubble to hide in, you want to hop on your sacred and keep running until the attack is over. If a player has the enmity, only that player will be targeted. This allows all the other players to do damage while the tank runs for his life. Next up, Kamehameha. It's powerful laser attack. It charges up and shoots a huge laser on one party member. Be careful because it will follow you slowly, so make sure to keep running. After the attack is done, it will have a wound on its face, which you can pop for extra damage and a big shield on the ground. Now for the attack that probably cards the most players, the flamethrower frenzy, or how I like to call it, apeshit mode. It starts to go crazy, jumps around 3 times, swinging wildly around it while shooting flamethrowers in random directions. You should view this as one continuous attack and just stay away as much as you can during it. When it's done, it will be exhausted and leaves a big damage window for you to abuse. It also has wounds on its legs after that, so make sure to pop them. Speaking of the leg wounds, Omega Planetus will enter an enraged mode from time to time. It's indicated with flashing red lights on his body. During that mode, it's much faster than before and leaves less room to breathe. Destroy 3 leg wounds to get it out of that enrage. Another dangerous attack at the end of the fight is the HP penalty bomb. If you get hit by it, you will take damage and your maximum HP will be reduced. And this stacks, so you really want to watch out and dodge this. If you don't get hit by it for a while, the debuff will run out and you will get your maximum HP back. Last but not least, the Delta attack. During the last third of the fight, Omega will become immune to damage and spawn an Scylla clone while charging up its big Delta attack. This is a DPS check. You have to kill Scylla before Omega reaches 100% energy or your team will wipe. In order to do that, make sure to use the cactuars and morbol seedlings in the area to damage and paralyze it. If you're successful, a big shield bubble will spawn. Stay in there to survive the Delta attack. Now that we know all the important mechanics, let's take a closer look at how to spawn the shields on the ground. First, whenever you destroy a wound on Omega Planetus' face, a shield bubble will spawn at that location. Second, during the fight, Omega will spawn little spiderlings. Some of them have a light blue glow. Destroy them to spawn a small shield bubble on the ground. And third, if you manage to destroy a leg of Omega, it will topple and drop a fragment on the ground. Pick it up to get a shield generator as slinger ammo. This is insanely useful because you can decide where and when to spawn it. Watch out though, the shields break after a while. You will see a crackling effect on it when it's about to break. Alright, we know what it does and how to counter its attacks. Here's the strategy on how to approach the fight. It is designed around the full group, but solo players chill, I got you, just hear me out. Ideally you want one hunter with some sort of shield as the tank, 2 hunters that focus on DPS, and 1 that focuses on supporting. If you play solo, here's where the NPC support hunters come into play. Capcom made sure to buff them enough so they're actually useful. To activate them, go to the quest settings and switch the multiplayer settings to only support hunters. Then go to the bottom and select which ones you want to take with you. I highly recommend taking Alessa, Kai and Mina. Alessa will do a great job in keeping enmity, so you can focus on DPS. Kai uses a hunting horn and provides great buffs for you. Mina does good DPS and gets even mounts thanks to the sword and shield. One might argue that the Omega hunt is easier with the support hunters than it is with random SOS players, just saying. If you're playing with other players, the same applies. 1 player should focus on tanking, 2 should DPS, and 1 player should provide some support. Keep in mind that you don't want to attack the head if you're not the one tanking. Omega Planetus is weak to thunder elements, so make sure to abuse that. The clone Narcilla is weak to fire, so have a fire weapon as secondary ready. Now let's break down the job of every role. First, tank. As a tank you want to always attack the head to keep the enmity of Omega. Since it focuses only on you, it's your job to manage the positioning of the monster. Ideally you want to abuse the environmental damage sources by luring it below the pillars that you can throw on it. This is free extra damage. If there's a fire on the ground nearby, try to lure it away from it. And if there's a shield bubble, tank it nearby so the other players are safe. You should aim for the skills Guard Up, Guard, Evade Extender and Divine Blessing if you can fit it in. Here's an example lance build from my friend Afro Freestyle. If you don't have the charm, just remove some of the offensive gems and replace them with the ones that are important. And if you don't know how to play lance, check out my no bullshit lance guide in the top right corner. All weapons with a shield can work as a tank spec though, so you're not forced to use lance. Next up, support. Your job as a support player is to provide useful buffs and heals for your other team members. You should aim for the skills Wide Range, Speed Eating, Free Meal, Quick Sheath and Evade Extender. Wide Range in combination with Speed Eating lets you heal everyone around you, and Free Meal gives you a chance to not consume an item. While every weapon can function as support, I highly recommend the Hunting Horn because you can provide huge buffs on top of all the healing. Here's an example build of my friend Evilia. It's a decent mix of offensive and defensive skills. We're using the Guardian Arcwild Hunting Horn because it has Attack Up L, Defense Up L and Sonic Barrier. Sonic Barrier makes the next hit you take do much damage. Especially in a fight like this where every attack hurts a lot, this is incredibly useful. Keep Echo Bubbles on the ground while having Sonic Barrier up and keep smacking the legs of Omega. If you need to heal, sheath your weapon and pop Omega Potion or Emergency Sushi Fish Scale. If you don't know how to play Hunting Horn, check out my no bullshit guide here on the top right corner. Lastly, DPS. Your job as a DPS player is to do damage. That's it, lol. Make sure to use a thunder weapon on Omega and a fire weapon for Narcilla. I suggest that you have a decent mix of offensive and defensive skills. The only thing I would highly suggest is Evade Extender. This allows you to easily roll out of the big attacks thanks to the extended range of your rolls. Other than that, just keep smashing the legs and try to be safe. Blunt weapons and shots do more damage in the front legs, while slashing weapons do more damage on the back legs. Here's an example sword and shield set I was using. Feel free to change it up for your weapon of choice. If you play together as a team and use healing items like Life Powder or Dust of Life, the fight should be doable without any problems. Apes together strong. Now let's take a look at the Savage version of this fight. You unlock this at Hunter rank 100 and it's basically the same fight but on steroids. Omega Planetus has more HP, hits harder and will use all of its attacks from the start of the fight, instead of unlocking them per phase. It also has a new ice attack now. The downward flamethrower can now shoot ice that will freeze you in place. This most certainly means karting, so make sure to not get hit. Also, the side flamethrowers chain up to 3 times now. The hardest part of the Savage version is probably the Narcilla phase. The DPS check is much bigger because Narcilla is more aggressive and also has more HP. It is really important to use the Cactuars and the Marble Seeds to lock it down and do big damage. Also, make sure to prepare your Pictomancer Moogle spell for Narcilla. Use it 2 times before the phase to prepare it. Then you can dish out 1000 free damage instantly. If all 4 of you do it, you get 4000 free damage. Then keep blasting it. Other than that, the fight is pretty much the same, just harder, but I believe you can do it. Did I miss any important tips? If yes, let me know in the comments or tell me live on twitch.tv/NinoMMO. I'm streaming with an open lobby, so let's hunt together. Thanks for watching, bye bye.